bottom of my page 2. The case on the top of page 2 is 19-1871 CF10A. The case on the bottom of page 2 is 23-10643 CF10A. I've got Mr. Griffiths, Ms. Collins present for the state, Mr. Haddad, Mr. Nascimento present for Mr. Henry. Mr. Nascimento, I know you got to run, see Judge Siegel. I set today and tomorrow for all pending motions. Let me put a couple things on the record, and then I'm happy to listen to any evidence, witnesses, or testimony each side wants to present. Just save your arguments to the end, and then when we get done with the evidentiary portion today, if we're going to continue on to tomorrow, that's fine. But it's my understanding that there was a global offer extended to Mr. Henry, so I'm going to put that on the record and have a quick conversation with him about it, but I'll do that after we get done with the evidence today and get the witnesses out of here. So in preparation for the hearings today and tomorrow, I read the following. Number 1, the defendant's motion to suppress statements of Cortlen Henry that was electronically filed December 5th, 2023. I read the state's unopposed motion for relief from the trial order dated July 8th, 2024. That was electronically filed August 25th, 2025. I read state's memorandum of law in opposition to defendant's motion to suppress statements of Cortlen Henry, as well as the attachments contained therein, which are transcripts. I couldn't find this one filed on CMS, but I assume Mr. Haddad got a copy of it. I couldn't find it filed.
I emailed it to him, and the audio copy, evidence you should already have.
Right. I did listen to, on a thumb drive that was provided to me, 2 audio recordings. I guess I'll have to wait to hear from the witnesses to tell me who's on the audio recordings, but I did listen to them. One is labeled Exhibit A, one is labeled Exhibit C. They're both dated October 26, 2018. One of them was at 6:50 a.m. in the morning. The next one was at 7:46 in the morning. I don't think the grand total of both audios takes up an hour. In fact, I'm sure it doesn't. But I did listen to all of that. So I did also read all the authority that is cited therein, in all the defense pleadings and in all the state's pleadings. Again, to repeat myself, I will let each side present whatever evidence, witnesses, or testimony they would like to present. With regards to any of these pending motions, I'll just ask you to save your arguments till we're done with all of the evidence. And then I'll give you a ruling as to all of them. I know we're set for tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and I know we're likewise set for trial. In both cases, 9 o'clock next Wednesday, which is September the 10th. So that being said, state, whenever you are ready, you may proceed.
The state would call, on the motion to suppress, the state's going to call Detective Jordan Cox, Officer Jordan Cox.
Okay. Once you reach it, but before you have a seat, if you can just stop and look at me, please. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Please be seated. And sir, once you are seated, if I can get you to scoot that chair forward as far as it'll go. You can adjust that microphone so it's pointed directly at your mouth. Can you please state your full name and spell your full name?
Jordan Cox, Jordancox.
Mr. Griffiths, you may inquire.
The court doesn't mind a question from the table instead of like they're trying to really mix over.
Not a problem.
Officer Cox, who do you work for now?
Boca Raton Police Department.
And how long have you worked for them?
Approximately 4 years.
I want to take you back to October 26th of 2018. Who were you working for back then?
Miramar Police Department.
And what were your duties back on October 26th of 2018?
Road Patrol.
That evening, that early morning rather, where were you working?
Where was I working?
Where? Yeah.
The city of Miramar.
Any sites in particular, any locations in particular?
No, I was on FTO, so I was kind of roaming around the entire city.
Did you have an occasion to be called over to a Miramar General Hospital?
I did.
And What brought you to that location?
The detail officer put over the radio that there was 2 victims that were shot at the hospital.
When you arrived on scene, what did you observe?
I observed the SUV parked underneath the emergency bay with bullet holes all over it, and there's a black male subject sitting on a bench.
Okay. Did you know who that black male subject was?
At the time, no.
Did you later identify or learn who he was?
Yes.
Who was that individual?
Cortlen Henry.
Okay. Did you see Mr. Henry in the courtroom today?
I do.
If you could identify him by some clothing that he's wearing?
That day?
No.
Or just
today.
now? Just now, yeah, based off him and his tattoos.
Okay, so you see him in the courtroom today?
I do.
Where do you think, if you could identify him?
He's wearing a red jumpsuit.
There's that record reflect identify Mr. Henry.
Okay, the record shall so reflect. You may proceed.
At any point in time, did you have a conversation with Mr. Henry?
I did.
And what did that conversation consist of?
Upon arrival, I pretty much asked him what had happened, what was going on. Based off, he looked like he was in distress sitting on the bench. So just trying to figure out what was going on.
What was going on? What was going on around you when you first started talking to him?
You had medical personnel coming out of the hospital, trying to extract the victims from the vehicle, get them inside, and apply aid to them.
Were there any other officers present?
Yes.
Do you know how many were present?
I don't recall.
Do you recall where they were?
The
Like where they were standing?
the officers.
Yes.
I had my FTO next to me, Officer Luna, and Jessica Amengor. Jessica Amengor. She was standing outside the emergency room.
Okay. So it was just you and Officer Detective Luna who were talking to Mr. Henry?
Yes.
How were you dressed? How were the both of you dressed?
Road patrol uniform, Miramar Police insignia.
If you could just briefly, what was your conversation with Mr. Henry?
I can refer to my report.
Yeah,
That's fine.
refresh your recollection.
Yes.
Go ahead and take a look. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So based off the what I observed with the vehicle and the victims, pretty much asked them what had happened, what was going on, where did this occur, how did this occur, just to get basic general information to provide to the detectives that were going to come on scene.
And did he provide you that information?
Yes.
Did he tell you where approximately this incident, where the 2 individuals in the vehicle would have been killed, that occurred?
Yes.
What did you do with that information?
I provided to the detectives that are right on scene.
Approximately how long were you speaking with Mr. Henry?
I don't recall.
Long period of time, short period of time?
Approximately about an hour.
And the entire conversation, where did that take place?
In the outside emergency bay, and then he was either admitted. He was either admitted to a room, or they took him into a room, and we spoke to him in there as well.
And at what point did you, at any point in time, did you leave Mr. Henry?
I did.
When did you leave?
When I had finished talking to him.
Were there any other officers present when you left?
I would say another officer took my role and stayed with him when I left the room. Yes.
Okay. And do you know when the detectives arrived?
I don't.
At any point in time when you were with Mr. Henry, did you ever advise him that he was in custody or under arrest?
No, I didn't.
Okay, cross-examination.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You proceeded
Miramar Hospital because of dispatch?
Yes, sir.
That was dispatch to all units. How many police cars ended up being there?
I don't recall. Good amount?
Fair amount, more than a few.
Yes.
Someone said it was like a whole Miramar Police Department spot because of the shooting. Would that be fair? Anybody on duty that night?
I wouldn't say everybody because there's a whole city to patrol. A good amount of units were there.
If you could give a guess, was it more than 10 policemen there?
I don't recall.
How many do you recall?
I'm sorry?
How many do you recall?
Approximate?
Yeah,
When I arrived on scene, it was just about 3 or 4 units on scene.
3 or 4. By the time you left, how many were there?
Probably 10 to 12.
10 to 12. Okay. Now let me ask you this. When you arrived, you saw the Jeep Compass. It had a couple of people in it? Did you see this?
Correct.
Okay. And Mr. Henry was out in the car?
Correct.
You know, the police lady, the person in charge of the emergency room had him sit on the bench awaiting the arrival of the police?
I don't recall.
But nobody had extracted the body here, correct?
Not that I saw, no.
Was there an investigation into the cause of death ongoing?
I don't recall.
Did you investigate the cause of death?
I did not.
You asked Mr. Henry what happened, correct?
Correct.
And he told you what?
That he and his buddies got shot at in Fort Lauderdale. They were leaving a party.
But didn't you say that he advised that an unknown vehicle drove by and fired multiple shots that he was driving? Is that what you reported?
Correct, on the highway.
Yeah, okay. And you said he told you where it was, and your report notes that units responded to the area of I-75 and Miramar Parkway, looking for evidence of the shooting. Units were unable to find any casings or shattered glass, correct?
Correct.
And that was, what time was that? Did you direct them to go to the area you were shooting?
I did not.
You know who did?
I do not.
He told you, when he told you the area to shoot, you noted it here, correct?
When you say it, I'm sorry, repeat?
Your report notes the area of the shooting. Does that come from something you heard from Mr. Henry? Does that come from a compilation of the other reports?
It's what Cortlen Henry advised to me.
Okay. Did you pass that on to the detectives or to anybody else?
I did.
You dispatched it over your
No,
radio?
no.
What?
I spoke to the detectives.
Okay. Did you tell anybody else this is where the scene was?
Not that I recall.
Did you go to the scene?
I did.
You did?
I did, yes.
Did you go look for evidence of the shooting
I did.
before the detectives arrived?
After they arrived.
Okay. Did you find anything?
I did not.
Did you report back to the detectives you didn't see anything?
Correct.
Who was with you when you were doing that?
Multiple Miramar police officers.
Okay. The detectives hired you over at the hospital?
Correct.
With them. They were not looking, correct?
Not that I recall.
Thank you very much.
Based on that, any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state is the witness excused. All right, sir, you may step down. Thank you very much. While he's doing that, state, you may call your next witness.
Save a call. Thank you, Toyota. Steven Toyota.
Huh?
Toyota's coming in, you want to
I have, yeah. Good.
Sir, if I could have you come all the way up to the witness stand, please. Once you reach it, but before you have a seat, if you can just stop and look at me, please. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. I do. Please be seated. Sir, once you're seated, if I could just scoot that chair forward as far as it'll go. You can adjust that microphone so it's pointed directly at your mouth. Can you please state your full name and spell your full name?
Stephen Toyota, Stephen Toyota.
State you may inquire.
Good morning.
Currently employed.
Capital Dynamics. It's a global investment firm.
And back in, when did you retire from the Miramar Police Department?
February of 2021.
And were you working with the Miramar Police Department back in October of 2018?
I was
In what capacity?
homicide detective.
And on that night, did you receive a call to respond to the Memorial Miramar Hospital?
It was the morning of the 26th.
7 a.m.
October 26th, 2018 morning. Yes.
And what, if anything, was the call that you received?
I believe it was very generic. Couple dead bodies at the hospital being dropped off by a friend. And just so you know, I don't get into great details when they call me out when I'm asleep because most of the time early information is not accurate anyway. So that's all I had is some semblance of what was going on when I head to the hospital.
And you specifically do that. You don't know too much so that you can get there and perform your own
Yeah,
investigation.
exactly.
And let me kind of ask you, at that point in time, what was your role with the Miramar Police Department? I know you were a homicide detective, but were you kind of stepping back a bit because you were getting ready to retire?
Yeah, kind of internally within our team. We know when people are about to retire, and we try not to put them in really important positions in homicide as they get close to retirement for reasons like this.
7 years later, you
Yeah.
come back to court.
Yeah, retired, and so. But yeah, I was definitely taking a back seat on a lot of things. I think that my saying was, I don't want to interview the shooter. I don't want to find the gun.
Excellent.
I don't want to interview the shooter. I don't want to find the gun.
So what was your role when you arrived at the hospital that morning?
A team player. I wasn't the lead. Detective Moretti was. So whatever he needed,
And what, if anything, when you arrived, was Detective Moretti already arrived when you arrived?
he was.
What, if anything, did he tell you when you arrived at the hospital?
I don't recall specifically.
Did he ask you at some point to drive someone he came to know as Cortlen Henry?
Yes.
What did he ask you to do with Cortlen Henry?
We were trying to locate the scene of the crime.
Why were you all trying to locate the scene of the crime?
Evidence, video, hard evidence, video, anything we could. So also, we want to make sure it's in our jurisdiction. That's like an important part. But no, we're just trying to determine where the crime occurred.
At the time when you drove with Cortlen Henry, was he a suspect in this case?
No, he's a victim.
You all at that point believed he was a victim of this drive-by shooting?
Yes.
So when Cortlen Henry got into your car, what kind of car were you all driving?
It would have been a detective car. I'm not sure if...
An unmarked?
Unmarked, yeah.
Would there be any cage in the back or anything like that?
No.
Do you recall where in the car he sat?
I want to say I believe he was in the front seat.
Next to you?
Yes.
What did Mr. Henry do with you in the vehicle?
He directed me to the location, and it seemed like it wasn't very forthcoming, and went back to the station. He was courteous. Wasn't, obviously I don't think he's cooperative in that situation, but
So there was no questioning back and forth between you and him?
no. Well, questioning is where's this location exactly? Yeah, nothing about potential suspect or the investigative part. We're just trying to determine where it happened, what happened. It's very early on in the investigation.
So it was just a turn left, turn right, go straight?
And yep, and then this is where it's at. Like, okay.
Was he at any point in time put under arrest with you?
No.
Was he in your custody at that time?
No.
Was he at any point in time not free to leave? He had said, I'm done with this.
No, he's a witness. He can leave whenever he wants. Well, at the time, we believe he was a witness, so.
And so at that time, he was just there voluntarily telling you guys and showing you where this crime scene was.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, cross-examination, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Was he talking to you before he gave a statement to Bertrand and Moretti?
I don't know the timing of the statement he gave to Bertrand Moretti, but if it was after I drove him around, then yeah, he was talking to me.
After?
No, I'm not sure. What was the timeline of his statement?
You had a crime scene, you said. You said you were investigating a crime.
Yes.
You said that on the record. What constituted a crime?
The 2 dead bodies?
Okay, so you formulated an opinion of crime that occurred. So you had 2 dead.
We were working homicide, yeah.
Yeah, homicide. You were called out to a homicide.
Yes.
You had a person who was not dead, Mr. Henry, correct?
Correct?
Who was in the vehicle, correct?
Correct?
And you're trying to ascertain what happened.
Yes.
Do you know whether or not police officers had already looked for the scene based upon what had happened with the guy, where he told another police, the lady at the hospital or another person?
I'm sorry. She said again?
Whether or not he encountered with the first police person on scene, that he gave a location for the shooting that was already investigated.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't.
You weren't told anything about where it may have happened?
I may have been. I just don't recall.
All right. So what did Moretti tell you? Take him and see if you can find something?
Yeah, he was, even if, and I don't recall specifically, but even if somebody thought they were where the crime scene was based on what he had told them, we're still going to do a drive-by in person with him.
So you wanted to go back and look to see for the scene,
Try to find the exact location of the scene.
and you drove him there.
Yes.
That was at the direction of Moretti
Uh,
or Bertrand?
it's kind of a gray area at the direction. We work as a team, so yeah, it would have been Moretti is the lead detective.
You weren't the guy in charge, Moretti was.
Correct.
Because you were getting ready to retire.
Oh, that was the plan, yeah.
Yeah. So Moretti said, hey, I want you to take this guy and go see if you can find out where this happened.
Yep. Is that a question?
Huh?
Was that a question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so Moretti directed him to you.
What do you mean by that? Directed him to me.
How did you get into the police car? You said to him, come on in the car?
I believe it was mutually, it was discussed that he's going to show us the location of the crime.
This guy knows where the shooting happened. Take him and look for it, correct?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, who was you with? Moretti and Bertrand?
Not sure.
Where was he when you first encountered him?
I met him at the hospital.
Whereabouts in the hospital?
I don't remember.
Did you make any notes of where he was? You don't have that written down, do you?
I do not.
Okay. So you put him in the police car and you drove him somewhere, correct?
Yes.
What conversations did you have with him? Do you recall any of them?
I don't. I'd have to listen to the recording.
You didn't record them?
Actually, I'm not even sure if it was recorded or not.
Okay. You were a homicide detective, correct? You were called out to a homicide, then you passed on to somebody else. You got an eyewitness to a homicide, and you don't recall whether you asked him any questions or not?
I'm sure I did talk to him. I just don't recall. If there was a recording of it, it'd be easier for me to reflect on that, but I can't tell you exactly what we talked about, other than we're trying to determine the location of the crime.
To try to determine what happened. Did you ask him for his version of what may have happened to cause the murder?
I don't know if I asked him directly, but I'm sure somebody had asked him, and it may have been relayed to me.
We don't have any notes of that?
No.
Okay. Did you say there's recordings of that?
I'm not positive.
Were you wearing a body cam?
No.
Miramar didn't issue them then?
No.
There's no body cams at any of this stuff, correct?
I don't know.
How long after this did you retire?
February 21, so 2.5 years?
All right. How long were you a homicide detective?
18 years.
After driving with Mr. Henry to the scene, to have gone through this, there was no scene. Did you have suspicions about his involvement?
Let's see. No, not as far as a suspect. Obviously, he's involved. He's there with the decedents. So we knew he's involved, but no, I think he was just being uncooperative. It's very common in my career that people aren't cooperative only because they don't want to get involved. So that's kind of the gist that I got from him.
You didn't want to get involved?
Yeah.
And you were trying to get involved, of course, by asking him what happened, where it was, right? That's what a detective does, correct?
Yeah, we're trying to determine the location of the crime scene, yeah.
Okay. And you took him back from Moretti and Cortlen, right?
I would have brought him back to somebody, yeah, I'm not sure who I saw
The
one.
road where you thought to see might be, you took him back.
Yes.
You didn't take him home.
No.
You didn't tell him you're free to go, call somebody, we'll let you go now.
Not that I recall.
Okay. Thank you.
State may redirect.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Detective, I actually have a question for you.
Sure.
Let's say you drove out to wherever you were going, and right before you got there, Mr. Henry had said to you, hey, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anyone. I would like to get out of the car right now. What would you have done?
Let him go.
State, based on my question, do you have any additional questions?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, based on my question, do you have any additional questions?
You would have just let him walk out. Do you know what Moretti and Cortlen's intentions were?
No. I don't know their intentions. But no, under the circumstances, he's used the word cooperating kind of in a gray area, but he was being courteous. He was somewhat cooperating, so he was free to leave at any time. He was free to leave at any time.
You guys, let me see. You got two dead bodies. You're investigating a person who drove them to the hospital. You have a person who drove to the hospital. He's free to walk away. You're not going to complete an investigation? That's what you told me.
Wait, yeah, I want to try to complete an investigation, but he's free to walk away. He's not a suspect. He's not detained.
You want to find out what happened, brother.
Of course we do. But we get lied to very frequently, so...
Don't you keep people there to the clinic investigating?
No.
Complete your investigation?
No, I wish we did, but no.
Recall what your conversations were with Moretti or Bortlen about him?
I do not.
Thank you.
If he had made, if he had been subject to any questioning by you, as an 18-year homicide detective, that you would have voted in your report, correct?
Yes.
So if at any point in time you had engaged in questioning with him or anything beyond just driving into the crime scene, you would have noted that in your report, correct?
Yes.
And that was not your role in this case, to question anybody, correct?
It was not.
You were, not to diminish your role, but like road patrol
Yeah.
officer at that point.
No, I was there for support. In that point in my career, I was not trying to get in the lead.
No further questions, Your Honor.
May I- How many police besides you and Bortlen and Moretti were
At the hospital?
there? Yeah.
I have no idea.
It was already a crime scene established there by the first people that arrived, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, you had a big crime scene tape, everything else where the truck was. You had, what do you call those people who take pictures? Crime scene investigators there and everything?
Yeah.
They were all there. No question about it, correct?
When I showed up, I'm not sure they were all there yet. Because we're all getting called out.
Huh?
We're all getting called out, so
Called out the whole town, right?
I don't know who they called out. I mean,
You were all called, all the detectives were there. You know the crime scene people were there, correct?
I do not know if they were there at the time.
What's the first, isn't it the first thing that you do when you have a thing, something like that to establish a crime scene? And you have a person to take.
You mean a crime scene log?
Huh?
You mean a crime scene log?
Yeah.
Yeah, we normally do it. I don't know.
You know when it was done, correct?
No, I actually don't know for sure if it was or not.
Thank you.
He is, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
State called Detective Mark Moretti.
you'd have to come all the way up here to the witness stand. Once you reach it, but before you have a seat, you can just stop and look at it. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
So once you're seated, if I get you to scoot that chair forward as far as it will go, you can adjust that microphone so it's pointed directly around. Please state your full name and spell your full name.
Mark Moretti, M-A-R-K-M-O-R-E-T-T-I.
College you may employ.
Thank you, Judge. Detective Moretti, where are you currently employed?
Employed with the Office of National Drug Control Policy through one of their initiatives called HIDA. It's a federal agency.
And what is HIDA stand for?
High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area.
And how long have you been with HIDA?
Since January.
Prior to January, where were you employed?
City of Miramar.
In what capacity?
Homicide detective.
How long were you a homicide detective in the city of Miramar?
Almost 10 years.
And how long were you with the city of Miramar total?
22 years.
And prior to your involvement with the city of Miramar, did you have any other law enforcement or military training?
Yes, I was with the Village of Pinecrest Police Department from 1998 until 2003. Prior to that, I was in the Air Force, 1991 till 1998. Then the Coast Guard Reserves from 2003 until 2017. Served as well as listed as well as a commissioned officer.
So, well over 20 years of law enforcement experience at the time of this investigation.
Yes.
And now, on October 26, 2018, were you still working in your capacity as a homicide detective in the city of Miramar?
Yes.
What is the call that you received that night?
I was
When I
requ-
say night, it's dark out, early morning hours.
I was called to respond to Memorial Miramar Hospital reference a double homicide. Two individuals were inside of a vehicle that were apparently victims of a gunshot.
And did you yourself arrive at the hospital?
Yes.
What, if anything, were you told when you arrived at the hospital?
I believe when I got on scene, I made contact with the supervisor, then later got in contact with Detective Bertrand because it was his week to be on call, so he was technically the lead. He called me out because he was soon to retire in less than a year, and he did not want to pick up another case. And so I, agreed to come out and help him.
And when you arrived on scene, did anyone kind of brief you as to what was going on?
The on-scene supervisor briefed me. Then once I got with Detective Bertrand, he briefed me on what he had at that point.
And what were you told was going on at that point?
An individual arrived in the entrance to the emergency room. It was a gray Jeep. The gray Jeep was still there. There was two victims. Both died of multiple gunshot wounds. Then they were later transferred to inside the ER. I believe that's where they were officially pronounced deceased, was inside the ER. The vehicle was still there. It was secured so no one can go in or out of it. Nothing could be touched like any other crime scene, because that's all we had at that point. That was technically our crime scene, even though we didn't know where this incident had occurred. We just knew that this vehicle came to ER with two dead bodies.
Now, this individual who came to the ER with two dead bodies, who was that person?
It was Cortlen Henry.
And do you see that person in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you identify him by an article of clothing and his location?
Red jumpsuit sitting next to Mr. Haddad.
Does the record reflect the identification intended by this witness?
The record shall so reflect. You may proceed.
How did you first come into contact with Mr. Henry?
He was in a treatment room. He was laying in a bed, wasn't handcuffed, wasn't under arrest. He, as far as we knew, he was technically a victim and the only surviving witness of a double homicide.
So when you walked in to speak to him, how did you introduce yourself?
It was recorded. I think I just gave my first name or said detective. I had to listen to the recording, but I had a polo shirt, regular slacks on, gun on my side, ID, badge.
You say that he was in the hospital room unrestrained. Was there anyone guarding the door to the room or anything like that?
the best of my recollection at this time, I don't think there was anyone guarding the room. I mean, there was a lot of police presence there that day. There was probably half the west side was over there. So
And when I say guarding the room, as far as you were concerned, he was free to leave that hospital.
he was just as witness. We didn't have anything we couldn't detain him. We couldn't compel him to talk. If he didn't want to talk to us, we couldn't compel him. He was just a witness at that point, a victim.
And the judge has already listened to it, has already evidenced that statement. What was his demeanor like during that statement?
It was I would say a cordial conversation. You know, he was upset. His friends were just murdered in front of him. You know, but there was no hostilities, no arguing back and forth. No profanities or anything like that.
At that time in your investigation, was he considered a victim of this crime?
Technically, he was a victim because he was shot at.
And so was your questioning at that point in time not for incriminating information, but more of how did you end up in the hospital with 2 dead bodies in your car?
But the biggest issue we did not know where this crime occurred. When it initially started off, we didn't even think that this even occurred in our city.
Why is that?
We didn't have a crime scene. What we were being told where this occurred, we received no phone calls of shots being fired. There was no spent casings, no glass on the road. There was no indication that any crime occurred anywhere in Miramar that day.
And is that why, at the conclusion of your statement, Mr. Henry, you asked him if he would be willing to actually direct one of your officers, to where it happened? Because from the location information he had given to you all at that point, it wasn't matching up.
No.
To figure out where it was.
Even in his statement, he says, "I'm not from here. I'm not familiar with there." So we gave him the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, people get lost all the time. They might think they're on Miramar Parkway, but actually on Pembroke Road or Pines Boulevard. It's understandable. So he said, "You know what? Just ride with Detective Toyota and show him where it happened."
And did he say, sure, I'd be happy to do this?
I don't know his exact words, but he didn't object. He wasn't in handcuffs. It was an unmarked police unit, not a cage in the back of that car. So
If he had said, no, I don't want to do that, what would you have done?
there's nothing we could have done.
Throughout your statement with Mr. Henry, did he ever say, I don't want to speak to you?
He never invoked his Fifth Amendment rights.
Even outside of invoking his rights, did he ever give you any indication that he did not want to speak to you? Did he say, I don't want to do this right now? Did he say, I'm not comfortable? Did he say, can we do this later?
No. I mean, every question we asked, he answered. Might not have been the most truthful, but he answered every question.
And after he did this drive-by, was that kind of the end of your interaction with him at that point?
At that point, yes, ma'am.
Now, after that drive-by, did you then go speak with Mr. Henry at another point in time?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
After that initial statement with him at the hospital, did you then speak to Mr. Henry at any other time?
When he was arrested in Houston, we did fly down to Houston to try to speak with him there, but he wouldn't speak with us then. He definitely invoked his right there.
And it's not because at that point in time he was a suspect and wasn't for arrest.
Correct.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, cross-examination, go ahead.
All right.
Good morning, sir.
Now, let me see. You said when you got there, you already had a crime scene, correct? At the hospital?
The car was secured.
That means there was evidence, tape on it, and all that stuff?
I'd have to refer to the crime scene photos, but I believe they did put crime scene tape up around the vehicle. I'd have to look at the photos.
All right. Was crime scene investigators there from your department?
Yes,
They were already starting their work?
I believe so.
What time did you arrive?
About 6 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yes, sir.
And how long Mr. Henry been there?
I believe he got there, at 4:35?
So that's an hour and a half. How many cops were there?
You would have to look at the crime scene log, but there was a significant amount.
What do you mean by significant?
Well, it is.
Are you from Washington right now?
I don't think that many. The only truly way to answer that question is look at the crime scene log to see who was there. I don't want to give you a number and be wrong, but
Let's say it was a significant police presence in the hospital, correct?
yes, sir.
You had 2 dead bodies, and you had an investigation going on. You had crime scene there. You had the vehicle involved right there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Henry was sitting down in the hospital.
He was in a room with a hospital bed. The heart rate monitor was on him. Basically, looked like he was receiving treatment.
What kind of treatment?
That's hospital's protocol. You have to ask him why. He was just a victim of a shooting. I guess they wanted to check him out.
Was he shot?
He was shot at.
Because there was no physical injury there, correct?
No, sir.
Did anybody report any physical injuries?
No, sir.
He was in a hospital.
Yes, sir.
Was he handcuffed?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, you talked to the other detectives and you found out you don't have a crime scene to keep time where it occurred, correct?
Correct.
And you went to talk to Cortlen Henry, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you say cordially, if I may, and your first words were Henry. Hey, how you doing? What's up, man? How you guys doing? You say, hey, my name is Detective Bertrand, and this is Detective Moretti. I can talk. We're here to talk to you about what happened, okay? That was said, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the police say to him, all right, listen, you need to be straight up and tell us where this happened. Okay? My understanding, you told these officers something, but the evidence doesn't show that it happened, correct?
Who said that?
Bertrand,
Okay.
correct?
Correct. I got the statement in front of me.
Third line down, fifth line down. The evidence doesn't show it happened. You gotta be straight up, correct?
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, you're right, sir.
Yeah, the evidence doesn't show that happened. You're confronting him with the fact that he's misrepresented something to the police, correct?
Yeah, but-
You're saying it doesn't add up, correct?
Correct.
You're confronting him, now that's obstruction of justice, isn't it?
No.
Yes, it is. Did you testify in the trial that you had enough to arrest him at that time? You testified to Mr. Palestine that at that time you had enough to arrest him. I can find the transcript.
I would like to see the full transcripts on that because I don't remember specifically saying that we had enough to arrest him at that time
Yeah, okay.
at the hospital because we didn't even know if this crime even occurred in the hospital. So for you to come in here and say that, it sounds like you're trying to put words in my mouth again.
Okay, he's giving you false information according to you, right?
He is giving me false
That's a
information.
crime.
It is. It's a misdemeanor.
You've got two dead people and he's giving you false information. You confront them with the fact that he's giving you false information, correct?
Sir, I do not want to arrest on a homicide for a misdemeanor charge, and then we got the speedy trial
You
issues.
want to arrest for a misdemeanor. Okay. You want to arrest for something more important, correct?
Correct.
Yes. And you're telling him he's lying to you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You're accusing him of committing a crime. And how many policemen were around?
In that room was just Detective Bertrand and I.
How many were out guarding the room, guarding the hospital, meandering around doing whatever you cops do?
I could not answer that question because I don't know who was where, was walking around.
There were a dozen.
You'd have to look at the crime scene log, sir.
You don't have any video of it, do you?
No, sir. There was video outside the hospital where when the bodies were brought in, but I think that there's no video inside the ER room for HIPAA reasons.
Okay. So after you tell him that, he continues to talk to you, correct?
Correct.
You continue talking about you need to know where the scene was, correct?
Yes.
And you direct him, you asked him to go with Bertrand, correct? Toyota.
Yes.
How did you ask him?
You'd have to refer to the statement.
No, I'm asking you. You tell me how you asked him.
would he mind showing Detective Toyota where it occurred?
You already know he lied about where it occurred.
Like I said in the direct examination, I said that sometimes people get confused. Miramar Parkway, Pembroke Road. So
You say that to him?
no, sir.
That was in your mind. Maybe he was confused.
Correct.
You were having him go with a detective for what?
To point out the location where
You already
yeah.
committed a crime by misrepresenting. Was he free to leave?
Well, if you looked into our statement, we even told him, listen, we don't care about the drugs. We don't care about any other crimes. We only care about the dead bodies. I am not concerned about a misdemeanor lying to me.
But that's part of homicide investigation where it happened, correct? If
People-
a person
but-
lying to you about where it happened, that can feed your investigation.
Sir, every single homicide investigation we had, people lie to us. It is a part of our job day in and day out. People lie to us, and we understand
You
it.
let them all go, correct?
No, sir.
Okay.
But people lie, we understand it, we accept it, and people lie to us for different reasons. You know, we didn't know he lied to us because he was involved in this homicide. We just figured he lied because they were doing something and they didn't want to tell the police about it. That was kind of our understanding. But we didn't feel that this even happened in Miramar.
Still confronting him.
Oh, of course. I mean, what investigator would not confront them when the facts don't add up?
Don't be contentious.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
You confronted him with the fact you thought he was lying, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I'll let go of that. Thank you, sir.
Based on that, any redirect?
Detective Moretti, when you all are telling him the evidence doesn't show that happened, was that saying, we think you committed this crime, or was it saying, as you testified on direct, we can't find this crime scene, where is this crime scene?
Correct.
And when the defense counsel keeps saying, he lied, he lied, he lied, we all know he lied throughout that statement.
Mm-hmm.
But in your mind at that point in time, was it, this man is committing perjury by lying to me, or was it, as you said before, he doesn't know the city of Miramar, doesn't understand what road this is, and isn't able to properly tell me where this happened?
We were not thinking that he was involved in this crime whatsoever.
And in fact, at the end of that recording, didn't you all even offer to drive him home?
I'd have to refer back to the full statement, but
If that would refresh your recollection. I believe it is the last sentence, okay.
I mean, like I said, it was not a confrontational encounter. I don't know if I have the full statement here. Can I see your version? Okay, it says question was actually from. It was actually from Bertrand, and it says Hector offered him a ride home.
And is that something that in your practice you all would oftentimes do when people are not in custody?
We've never given a criminal a ride home, so.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Based on that, you recross.
I got to ask one other question, too. Based on that, you've never given a criminal ride home? You ever given a suspect a ride home, build up evidence to make an arrest later when you knew they were a suspect?
If I was concerned that they were a suspect of a homicide, I am by no means going to get into a car with them and drive them somewhere for my safety alone.
So you've never done it?
No,
Let me
sir.
ask you a question. This person that was just considered a victim took gunshot residue from him, correct?
Correct.
That's what you always do to victims?
Well, we were just trying to figure the case out. He wasn't telling us the truth.
The case was you had accused him of something and he took gunshot residue. What other criminal investigation did you have been?
We do that all the time. No, DNA would not have been possible. But we do that in almost all cases just to rule him out.
Rule him out as a suspect. Because he was a suspect at that time. He was
No,
involved.
he was not a suspect at that time. We had no idea, no indication whatsoever And even then, when we did the GSR, which there's two different type of GSR tests, the first one is just a presumptive test, and it's done after the initial test. And that just tells us if he handled a gun. That first test came back negative, which even corroborated in our mind a little bit more that he was not involved in any of this.
All right. You were doing investigative stuff, right?
Yes.
That's part of your protocol to take GSR?
Well, we've done it many times with witnesses and stuff on case victims. That's nothing unusual.
What if they refuse?
And we don't take it. We ask. The crime scene technician asked.
Okay. A crime scene technician went up to him, asked him for gunshot residence
Yes, sir.
test. Was that at your direction,
I did not direct it, no.
Bertrand?
I do not know.
You was done in your presence?
I was there when it was done.
You were there?
I was there.
How many other detectives, cops were
I couldn't even answer that quite. At least Hector and myself and Detective Bertrand.
So he was in the presence of these three?
Well, it is outside the scope, but over your objection, go ahead.
There was 3 or 4 policemen with him, asking him to give him, to let them test his hands, correct?
Correct.
And he thinks he's free to leave?
I can't testify to what he was thinking, sir.
What were the conditions of what a normal person would think, surrounded by police? That he's free to leave?
Well, yeah, I'll sustain that one. I think that's the question. Any other questions?
No. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, state this witness excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may sit down. Real quick, 5-minute restroom break for the court today. We'll be in recess for 5 minutes.
You would read this for evidence, right?
Huh?
You on here, you would read that as evidence, you don't need to read that for that. Just before you let him go, no.
I'll do this on the record, but actually probably.
Yeah, I will, that's why I was like, wait a second, you didn't. already provided to Your Honor.
Let me go back on
He's already got it. It's labeled up there.
All right, let me go back on the record. This is State versus Cortlen Henry, 19-1871 CF10A and 23-10643 CF10A. I continue to have Ms. Collins, Mr. Griffiths present for the state, Mr. Haddad present for Mr. Henry, who continues to be present. State, yes.
As a formality, State would move at this point what has been provided to Your Honor previously in reference to State's Exhibit 1. It's the two clips that Your Honor already talked about on your files that the State already discussed, that Your Honor reviewed by stipulation of parties and had fully introduced that as evidence.
Defense, any objection?
No.
All right, without objection, Ms. Wilcox, we'll call this State's A for identification. It's going to be in evidence only for the purposes of this hearing. That's
Yes.
State's Exhibit 1.
I had talked to the state because I had had a procedure the other day, my voice is kind of stuff about doing arguments tomorrow. I've read
We have no
it,
objection to that. So.
That's fine.
and I may put them on
That's fine.
tomorrow, but I can't talk, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
State, you have no other evidence or witnesses or testimony you want to present today.
No, Your Honor, just argument.
And Mr. Haddad, whatever evidence, witnesses, or testimony you want to present,
And I-
you want me to do that tomorrow? All right, that's no problem.
I also, with the state motion, featuring stuff,
Oh,
he said, you know, like, I don't know what to call it.
we filed the State's motion for relief from the trial order.
Yeah, to file your motion in limine.
Correct, but I think we agreed that that's moved because he doesn't intend to call.
The two witnesses. All right, I'll handle that when we do the arguments tomorrow.
Just so Your Honor knew it wasn't something that was
Understood.
heavily litigated.
Yeah, that's fine. So the only thing I'm going to press pause on the all pending motions, and again, we're going to resume tomorrow at 9 o'clock. That's the defense motion to suppress. I'll give you a ruling on the state's unopposed motion for relief from the trial order, as well as the state's motion in limine. But I'm going to let each side continue to present whatever evidence, witnesses, or testimony they'd like to do before that. So I'm going to pause on the evidentiary portion today. I do want to have a quick conversation with Mr. Henry. I'm going to put him under oath, talk to him about the charges, make sure he understands the maximum possible penalties, make sure he understands the state offer.
I think that's something else the defense wants to speak to him about tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to put it on the record right now, but he doesn't have to tell me what his answer is now. But I just want to make sure he has all the info. And what I'll tell you all, I'll be back here tomorrow, and then, you know, I'm going to tell Mr. Henry this as well, but for his benefit now, if he wants to resolve the cases by way of a negotiated plea, that's fine with me. And if he doesn't want to, that's fine with me too. But the one thing that I am going to change, if you need me to, I can put him on maybe Tuesday afternoon, the 9th. I'd rather just not do it. I'd rather know yes or no the day before, because there's a significant, number one, I don't want him to feel any pressure. But number two, I got 250 citizens coming in here Wednesday morning, and there's just,
Tuesday afternoon is fine, Your Honor.
yeah, if need be.
I have a hearing at 3:30.
It's fee hearings, you know.
Yeah, so I don't really have to say.
But I'm going to be here,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Henry, listen, I'm going to put you under oath and ask you some questions, okay? It's only going to be as it relates to the state's offer, and it's only as to make sure that you understand the state's offer and you understand the charges that you're facing here. We're not going to talk about anything else. So just listen to my questions and answer the questions, okay? Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay, you can put your hand down. Please state your full name. How old are you? How far did you go in school? Do you read and understand the English language? Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol? Have you ever been treated for a mental illness? Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now? All right. How are you feeling this morning? Your head is clear? You understand what's going on? All right, so Mr. Henry, listen, you got two cases. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, right now, you're charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital felonies, which means it's a mandatory life sentence. If the jury convicts you of count 1 or count 2 as charged, that's life in Florida State Prison. I have no discretion. Count 3 and count 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty for each of those is 30 years in Florida State Prison. Okay? In your other case, which is case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged as follows. Count 1 is tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. All right? as the maximum penalty. Count 2 is directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first-degree felony punishable by life, so the maximum penalty there is also life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering, and again, as it's charged, that is also a life felony. The maximum penalty is life in Florida State Prison. And lastly, count 7 is unlawful use of a two-way communication device. As that's charged, the second-degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State Prison. So right now, as to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. It's life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison. Do you understand the charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? Okay. So, Mr. Henry, the state is telling me that they're extending an offer to you, and the offer is as follows. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, they're going to null process or drop counts 1 and 2, both first-degree murder charges. Okay. And in exchange for that, as to counts 3 and 4, in that case, the accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree, you're going to plead no contest to both of those. And as to the 4 counts in case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 of those counts. And in exchange for all of that, the state is offering that I would adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to the bottom of your sentencing guidelines, which is 195.45 months, about 16, it's a shade over 16 years and 3 months, 16 years and 3 months. All of those sentences will run concurrently, that is at the same time with each other. I would give you credit for all the time that you have served, understanding that you have a lot less credit time on the 23 case because it's a newer case. So that is what would be controlling. Whatever credit time you have on the 23 case, you could subtract that from the 100
I think he actually has more time on the 23 case than the 19 because he's out of custody.
Oh, okay. Well, whichever case you have more time, less time in custody, that's what would happen. And you get the credit for all the time that you've served. And again, that sentence would be 16 years, a shade over 16 years, 3 months in Florida State Prison. I would have to order restitution. The state would tell me the amount of that restitution. That restitution would be joint and several with any of your other co-defendants. If any of the other co-defendants were convicted at trial or entered pleas. In other words, the restitution only has to be paid once, but each person is responsible for 100% of it. All right, but as soon as it's paid, it's paid. I would have to impose mandatory court costs in each case, and I would have to impose a mandatory cost of prosecution in each case, which is $100. So, Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? Okay, the 16 years, 3 months, and a shade more. So I'm going to pause on it at this point, Mr. Henry. It's going to give you some time, whether that be tonight or also over the weekend, to talk to your lawyers about it. Make sure they answer all your questions, talk to your family about it so you can make a decision as to what you want to do. Now, let me explain this to you, sir. I can't make the state make you an offer, and I can't make you accept any offer. I'm just the referee, okay? This is a business decision between you, your lawyers, and the state. And if you want to accept it and resolve both cases that way, that's fine with me. And if you want to have a trial in both cases, that's fine with me too. It doesn't matter to me in any way, shape, or form. But whether it be tomorrow when I see you tomorrow, and then Ms. Wilcox, she already has tomorrow at 9 o'clock, that'll remain on. But I'll put them on both cases as well next Tuesday, which is September the 9th. Let's just call it 1:30 in the afternoon. September the 9th at 1:30 in the afternoon. We'll call it trial status in both cases. That's when we're gonna have to finish this conversation, Mr. Henry, and you're gonna have to tell me that either that you understand the offer that the state's making, that your lawyers have answered your questions about it, and then you're gonna have to tell me what your decision is, whether you want to accept the offer or whether you want to reject the offer. Mr. Henry, the one additional thing that I like to talk to people who are sitting in this situation that you're sitting in right now and have this conversation is as follows. The reason that I'm doing this is because I want the record to be clear what the state's offer was, and the record to be clear that you understood it and that you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about it. You had enough time to talk to your family about it. You weren't under any pressure to make a decision, whatever you thought was in your best interest. Because it goes kind of like this. And I'm sure your lawyers could speak to it better than I can. If you accept the state's offer, that's fine. And again, if you don't accept it, that's fine too. But if you don't accept it, and one of these trials doesn't go your way, and you end up with life in Florida State Prison, which is a mandatory sentence on a lot of these counts, usually people in that situation, then they'll file what's called a motion for post-conviction relief, and they'll say, hey, Judge, my lawyer never told me, I didn't know that I could resolve all this for 16 years and 3 months, and if they would have told me that, I would have done it. And now I'm sitting here with a life sentence. So that's the reason I'm having this conversation now, so the record's going to be crystal clear on that issue. If it doesn't go your way, that argument's not going to be available to you to come back and say, hey, my lawyers didn't tell me about this, or I didn't know about this, so that's why I'm talking to you about it now. So, Mr. Henry, do you have any questions for me about the maximum possible penalties involved or what the state's offer is to you as we're talking about it right now? Okay. All right, so I'm going to pause on that part of the conversation, and we'll finish that other part of the conversation either tomorrow or next Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to leave you on for tomorrow, all pending motions, which is September the 5th at 9 o'clock. I have one other matter that I need to handle prior to that with Mr. Gibson and Mr. Percio. I don't imagine that's going to take too long. And then I'll be right with you all tomorrow. And then Ms. Wilcox, we're going to put both of Mr. Henry's cases on Tuesday, September the 9th, 1:30 p.m. We'll call that trial status, and he remains set for trial in both cases on Wednesday, September the 10th at 9 o'clock, understanding that if we go forward with the trial, it's going to be on the murder case, the 19-1871 CF-10A. State, is there anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry today? Mr. Haddad, anything else you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry today? Okay. All right, so we'll press pause at that point, Mr. Henry. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock, which is Friday, September the 5th. Ms. Wilcox, does that otherwise conclude the FT docket for today?
Yeah.
Okay, so the FT is otherwise going to be in recess until tomorrow, which is Friday, September 5th at 8:45 a.m. I hope you all have a good rest of your afternoon. All right, Mr. Court Reporter, that is it.